Hello, hello, Diana Smith here. You know, I have absolutely been loving my air fryer. Loving it. But it dawned on me, I'm curious, roasting my veggies in the air fryer has become a great habit of mine. But I'm curious, for those that haven't already invested in an air fryer, is there really much difference than the oven that you already have? I'm here to figure that out. I have the oven set at 400 and it's not preheated yet. The air fryer preheats in like 5 minutes. So they're both gonna be preheated to 400. We are gonna oven roast some veggies and let's see how they turn out, and also let's see which one takes the longest to cook. So, okay, the first and most important thing you need to figure out is what veggies you wanna use. For this, I am going to use fresh cauliflower. And when I do cauliflower, I usually do it still kind of a big head like this. And I roast mine, I coat them with oil, seasoning, all kinds of good stuff. But I want fairly good sized chunks of it because my other vegetable is Brussels sprouts, which usually take a little bit longer to cook. So what I do with Brussels sprouts is I cut the bud off and I cut them in half. And when you cut the bud off, sometimes you'll see like these little scraggly leaves. Get those off. So I'm gonna do Brussels sprouts, that, and then these I'm not even gonna cut. I put them all in the one thing too, I don't know if everybody is in the habit of doing this, but I wash everything. I don't wash it in any, fancy veggie cleaners or any of that kind of crap, because realistically it's gonna cook at 400 degrees. But I do rinse everything off. And so the mushrooms, especially because they're a fungi. So anyhow, mushrooms go in there, they're already sliced. I'm gonna slice the cauliflower up, like I said, so that it can cook about the same rate as the Brussels sprouts. So I'm gonna cut everything up, I'm gonna put it in this bowl, and then I'll be right back. We'll season this up. Share a Brussels sprout story while I'm sitting here chopping Brussels sprouts. I used to cook for a boys ranch, and so many people think that they don't like Brussels sprouts. And so I told the boys at the boys ranch one time that if each boy would try a Brussels sprout, then after dinner they could pick a candy from the, I always kept candy around because the best way to get kids to behave is bribe them. So I always kept some candy around. So I said that if they ate Brussels sprouts, or at least tried them, that they could pick from the candy jar. Let me tell you, anybody that I've ever had that tries an oven roasted or air fried, a roasted Brussels sprout, loves them. They just turn out, gosh, I don't know, like somebody told me one time it brings the sweetness out in them. Not sure that I consider my Brussels sprouts sweet, but hey, whatever works. People love them. My daughter, one time, another Brussels sprout story, my daughter was having a few teeth removed. And of course, some people you can bribe with candy, which trust me, I've bribed her with candy before, but my daughter loved vegetables, always. Getting her to eat meat was the challenge, as opposed to what most kids are like. So, she gets ready to go to the dentist and she has to have some teeth removed. And so she tells the woman, she goes, gosh, if I'm really good, I get to have Brussels sprouts for dinner tonight. And the woman said, oh my gosh, honey, I'm so sorry. And my daughter goes, oh no, it's my favorite food. And the woman just laughed. So it's funny. I love Brussels sprouts. They're super good for you. And made correctly, everybody can love them. The secret to veggies is making them good. The mistake I think a lot of people make with Brussels sprouts is boiling them, which is what I used to do. You boil them forever. They end up all kinds of smushy. It's just nasty. I mean, who wants to eat smushy vegetables? So oven roasted vegetables. Oh my gosh. While I'm chopping, I've got some good things too. If you oven roast your veggies, brown is flavor, so you definitely want to cook the veggies until they get a nice brown on them. because then you always want to make enough for leftovers. You always want leftover roasted veggies. They're amazing in soup. If you have never tried one of my soups, one of these days I'll make soup with you guys. Browned roasted veggies in soup is amazing because it adds so much more flavor, and you can really taste each individual veggie when they're roasted and browned as opposed to smushy because they've been boiled in broth. So I always make tons of roasted veggies. I can roast veggies once a week, and I do them, then I toss them in scrambled eggs. I toss them in stir fries, or I just microwave a plate. The next thing I'm gonna make, I'm excited about, is one thing most people might not think about, is meatballs. I call it loaded meatballs, and we're gonna have a bunch of these left over, and that's what we're gonna put in the meatballs. So now that I've done that, this is by far the easiest way. You could drizzle oil over it, which is not gonna coat the whole darn thing, because it's just not. But you guys, you can get cooking spray that's 100% olive oil. Put it on there like that. Now I am an absolute seasoning Bo Diddy. Johnny's seasoning salt is my favorite. This is not a paid commercial. It's not a paid commercial, but if you follow a link down below, it's a good chance it's an affiliate link. So though it doesn't cost you any extra, I might get paid. So if there's a link for it down below, by all means, please click it. Garlic. I love garlic, but I especially love garlic roasted. So I'm putting a few teaspoons of that in there. I don't measure, excuse me, I don't measure anything. Never have, never gonna. I love a little bit of bite to my veggies. Like I said, I do not like boring veggies. So I put a little bit of crushed red pepper and a pretty generous amount of regular pepper. Now, mind you, if there's other things you like, this is great with basil, oregano, whatever kind of seasonings you guys like. The secret is the stirring in, coating them with oil, especially because the air fryer is going to dry stuff out if it doesn't have enough oil. That is the one thing I learned about the air fryer. You can never have too much oil. Never have too much olive oil. Because in the air fryer, it's going to drop below it. And, sorry, the pepper is going to get stuck in my throat. Hold on. Hold that thought. No, it's not COVID. It's pepper. Whew. Okay. I'm pretty generous with the salt too. Love myself some salt and a few more crushed peppers. A bunch more oil. Looks like it's not, and you can kind of see in there, doesn't look like it's all coated. And trust me, if you are spraying, sorry, it's getting in my throat. If you are spraying olive oil like this, you are using substantially less than you would be if you were drizzling olive oil. So don't be stingy with your olive oil. It's good for you. You could use coconut oil if it's liquid. That adds a lot of flavor. So whatever you want. Add whatever you want. These are your veggies. What I'm going to do though with them is I'm going to put half of them in the oven at 400 and the other half in the air fryer at 400. We're going to see how quickly they cook up, how nice and brown they get. Here is a trick. I don't know that it's a trick, but it's what I do. Whenever you are oven roasting veggies, if you put them just on a cookie sheet like this, they're gonna stick. I don't care who you are, I don't care how much oil it is, it's gonna stick. And if you put enough oil that it doesn't stick, then that's gross, that's too much oil. When you use parchment paper, your veggies don't stick and they brown perfectly. So I am a huge advocate. I use parchment paper for anything at all, actually. It's just, I love it. But it really puts a nice crisp brown on your veggies without leaving any on the tray. I also use a spatula when I'm tossing this. That way I'm getting all the oil and seasoning and good stuff off the bowl. Oh, darn chunk of Brussels sprout. So anyhow, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put about half of this here. kind of a non-stick inside, but I'm gonna put a little bit of oil on it as well. Here we go. We have the tray. Can you guys see that? Full of veggies. These are going into the center rack of the oven. I'm gonna set this for 10 minutes just so that I don't forget. Honestly, I never put the timer on. I just wait till my food starts smelling good. But now I'm gonna go ahead and clean all this up because I cannot stand a dirty kitchen. I'm gonna clean this up and we will be right back to check on the food in 10 minutes. Actually, while I'm gone, why don't you guys subscribe to the channel for me, pretty please? A couple times a week, I come out with new videos, anywhere from cooking to just what the hell I think about life, or stories that might make you laugh. But I think life is so much easier if we're laughing together, hence the name of this channel, Laugh at Life. So let's laugh at life together. Subscribe and hit the little bell icon if you want to know when I come out with new videos. You hear that? It's been 10 minutes. Let's take a look. Okay. These are nowhere near done. There is no browning. See how nicely they don't stick though? Ah! Dang it. See, there's no sticking at all. But there's no browning yet. Right now it's just moisture coming out of them. So that's 10 minutes in the oven at 400. Oh my gosh, my phone ran out of memory. So when I went back to review this, it had cut it off, the memory on the phone. So I'm gonna have to recap because I'm not remaking my veggies. So these vegetables, on the way it ended was me showing you no browning on the oven veggies. These veggies were 10 minutes out of the air fryer and they taste amazing. They're all done. Gosh, I even tried frying them for you guys. What I did, because I don't have the patience to wait for the oven ones to cook all the way, I took the ones from the oven and I dropped them in here, and this is 10 minutes in the air fryer. So I apologize that I was not able to capture all of that, but the first bout is done perfectly, 10 minutes in the air fryer, and I just don't have the patience to wait. It'd probably take about 20-25 minutes for them to look this good in the oven. So I bagged it, I put it in here, and they're amazing. I hope you guys can see them all, and I hope I don't get cut off this time. Here are the veggies, done beautiful. I don't think I showed you because it cut me off. I want you guys to see, look at the browning. Ah! Okay, for crying out loud. Look at the browning on that cauliflower. It's perfection. Seriously, the mushrooms are fantastic. The Brussels sprouts are done perfectly. They're amazing. 10 minutes. If you have patience, you can get them just as pretty in the oven, but I don't have that kind of patience. 10 minutes in the air fryer. Air fryer for the win. And with that, stay safe, stay healthy, stay surrounded by loved ones, and most of all, stay grateful for all of your blessings. And sometimes the biggest blessing is the air fryer. So I will put a link to my air fryer down below. I'll see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.